Hello YouTube, this is Louis Trans, aka M25, aka Louis JM, and I do want to talk to you about something that's becoming a very serious situation. Not too serious, but starting to become one. So, as some of you might know, if not, I am enjoying all of the Hololive VTubing stuff within the YouTube community. Believe it or not, I never even heard of VTubers or Hololive until Trash Taste that was created by Anime Man, and he and his friends had a special guest in Mori Calliope. When I saw that, I was like, whoa, is that an anime character talking to real people? And I'm like, I decided to take a good look to see about this Calliope girl. Turned out, I seem to have gotten myself into the whole Hololive trap, like almost everyone else back in 2020, when at the time the world got into a serious situation with a pandemic and a lockdown. So, yeah, definitely blaming that on COVID. But regardless, ever since that interview, I've been watching a lot of Hololive stuff. I'm not like those people that spent hours looking at live streams or chatting or anything, but I do kind of peek in the rabbit hole bit by watching just the clips. And over the years, I've had a very enjoyment in that type of experience. Believe it or not, Hololive just got its start within the 2018. But it did skyrocket it back in 2020 during the pandemic. So, ever since then, Hololive and VTubing became the new norm for YouTube. From its variety of characters to its vastness of lore, it became one of the big sensations. And of course, it's still going strong, with new members coming in on a yearly basis, and a new type of adventures. But lately there's been a peak that led to what would be, at least hopefully not, the potential downfall of it. See back then, for almost a year, there have been multitudes of graduations that seem to be close to each other. And of course, it's starting to become evident that the more people graduate, the more concerning it's starting to get. It started out with Aqua Minato back in late summer, I believe. But then in November, there was Emilia Watson, one of the personal favorites within the Hololive community. Then in early January, we had two graduations at the same time, one being Chloe Sakamata and Phonoceros. And recently there had been a graduation with Murasaki Shion, or Shion Murasaki. And at the time I'm recording this, there are two more graduations going on. That's going to happen next week. The first one being Mume Nanashi in the 28th of April, and Gura in May 1st. Yes, you heard me. Gargua, one of the original Hololive English members and face of the whole Hololive community, graduating. That's a very concerning topic, even on basic circumstances. And even by the time I uploaded, who knows if there's going to be more graduations coming up. And that's the very concerning part. with this many graduations, combine that with the graduates from Holostars, I believe, there could be a potential that it might lead to a downfall of Hololive and VTubing as a whole. Though I find it highly unlikely, it's still up in the air. So the main question is, how is this happening? Why are there so many graduations in these close of time spans? And why are more VTubers leaving that company? Well, I don't know much on what's going on in the business side or the logistics side, but as far as I'm concerned, it could have something to do with the Hololive itself starting to become corporate. Keep in mind, Hololive it became a growing business, and after the 2020 pandemic, it started booming like crazy. And with more eyes on the product and more VTubers coming in, it could be difficult to keep everything in check. Combine that with the fact that other VTubing companies starting to dwindle away, and you might know that it will begin that Hololive would become too big to fail. So, given the current circumstances, my best guess is that, at least under my case, I don't know if that is true on anyone else's, that this Hololive would start to become corporate and would bring in investors and business people to help keep the company organized. Therein lies the problem. Given that we're dealing with corporations, it would mean like shackling the very people that have been creating this company as a whole. People like Aqua, Amelia, Chloe, Fauna, Shion, Numu, and Gura were big time names at during that time. And from what I could picture, these VTubers fear that if the company goes corporate, that means that they are tied into what the business people wanted. As in, they won't let the VTubers do what they want to do. They don't want them to play the games they want to play. They won't perform the songs they want to perform. And it will become more of a bland type of feel to it. So, as far as I'm concerned, that could lead to the so-called graduation of these VTubers wanting to leave the company and move up and either go independent or find work elsewhere. And this could become a blowback within Hololive itself. All of these VTubers, they were part of different factions. Aqua and Shion were part of the first generation of Hololive. Chloe was part of HoloX. Amelia and Gura were part of Myth, and Fauna and Mume, they're part of the Console/Promise. When you have those members removed, that means less members. That means there'll be less members to be not called like either Myth or HoloX or Gen 1 or even Console or Promise. And that's the most concerning part. And if that's the case, what's going to happen to the remaining members? Will they merge to become a completely different unit? I mean, obviously, because, well, back then when Console had the original members, one in Sana left super early, graduated early because of health problems. So we never got a chance seeing actual performance, either a 3D debut or having her collab with other newer members like that of Advent or Justice. So yeah, that's kind of a bit of a low point. So, given that two of each unit, English unit, is gone, no doubt that the remaining 3 from both units will have to collab together and merge to a new type of unit. Though it does beg the question what they're going to be named, so it is a bit of a reach. Still, with all of this, with the fact that the company will go corporate and the multiple graduations, is Hololive gonna be on the verge of collapse? Well, that's pretty much in the air. Keep in mind, this is still a big business, and they still have plenty other members of different generations and different units to continue on. Combine that with newer units like Advent and Justice, and more units debuting, preferably this year, mind you. It's no doubt that it's still going to remain strong in the long run. Still, given the current circumstances, it does beg the question: how long will it last? And if that's going to be the case, will VTubing become just a memory in the coming years? I hope not. If so, then we'll be going through. This is going to be a tough decision. I mean, we would consider our YouTubers like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye doing less YouTubing now, but pretty sure sooner or later it's going to be the same thing with the VTubers. Still, at least the graduates will move on to other things. After all, some of them are still doing VTubing in an independent scene, and 2 of them, being Amelia and Sarah's Fauna, have their own VTubing channels with different names and different body and different looks. So at least it will still go on, even if they don't have the Hololive backing. But we shall see in the coming years. No doubt, I'm pretty sure they won't have an issue, but it will be time if that's going to be the case. So that's it for my own personal thoughts on this whole life situation. Hope you guys appreciate it. Leave a like and comment or comment below, and stay tuned for more videos. #WhereTheGoodCartoons.